What up? I figured I'd chime in. It's been a little bit. Well, I hope you're having a good day, whoever's watching this. I don't get a lot of people watching this, but whoever seems to pop in and watch this, I hope you have a good day today. Happy Friday. Some good things have happened. I finished step 4, and I'm really proud of myself for that, or completed it. It took me almost a year, and I'm grateful. And sometimes, you know, things take as long as they're going to take. Things play out as long as they're going to play out, you know. And I'm just grateful to be putting in the work to do that. Today I'm going to be donating some of my time to my church, and they're doing well, they call it a harvest festival or something, because I don't think my church will call it a Halloween deal, which is fine. I have my thoughts on that, but whatever. But the kids can come dress up, and there's going to be games, and I'm providing my services, so I'm going to be face painting. And I haven't really, you know, face painted in a while, and I used to do it all the time, and then I did it for a job. So yeah, I'm grateful that I can provide a service for my church. I mean, giving back doesn't necessarily just mean recovery. It can mean a lot of things, and that's one of the ways I can give back to a place that I've been able to really connect with my higher power. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for today. I'm grateful for my recovery. Today's just for today. The theme of it is amazing. We're not responsible for our disease, but we are responsible for our recovery. I love that. That's one of my favorite phrases in the program that I'm in. Because there's going to be times that like I crave, or there's going to be times that things happen that like it's out of my control. It's just part of what I believe I have, and I'm not responsible for that. It's just, you know, it's internal. But I am responsible for what I do to keep that in remission. I believe it's a disease, and if I believe it's a disease, then I believe that it's uncurable. I know that argument is tough for some people. They say you can't compare that to diabetes or whatever. I'm not gonna share my take on why it is or any of that. I've been to treatment 3 times, and I have to just focus on me, my disease. And so I do things to help keep it in remission. And I do things to help change my perspective as I go through seasons of life. I do things to try my best. My best may not be good enough for some, may be good enough for others, but it ought to always be good enough for me. I try my best to be kind to people, go out of my way, and then to also protect myself if I find myself people pleasing, because I can do that too. You know, I do that a lot. I find myself, you know, needing the validations of others, needing to make sure that I'm good with them or whatever. And really, I don't need to be doing that. It's not good for my mental health. And so I need to focus more on really just being available when needed, step up to the plate when asked, and this is a program of attraction rather than promotion, although I'm doing a video about it. and you know, when I think about where I'm at today versus where I was, you know, not too long ago, in a lot better of a place, in a lot better of a headspace. And when things happen that don't go quite my way, or they really don't go my way, I have things that I lean on that really help me get through it. And so I'm grateful for that. And working steps is one of them. I was in a bad headspace, and I was going to resort to either the gym, which I had already gone that morning. I was going to resort to my phone, which, you know, So I decided to read something that connects me to my higher power. And then when that got done, a voice in my head said, why don't you work on step 4? You're almost done. I mean, it took me a couple hours, but that's what I did, and I finished it. Well, I completed it. And so, yeah, and now I don't have to sit with that in the back of my mind like, hey, you need to finish this, you need to finish this, you need to finish this. Now it's just, I shared it with my sponsor, and now it comes down to figuring out when we're going to sit down and really go over it. I shared with my sponsor that I completed it. He's really happy for me. Because it's an accomplishment to put in that work and complete that. It's the work that not a lot of people want to do, like sit down and answer 1,000 fucking questions about how fucked up I am. Which leads me into like, surround yourself around people that don't constantly remind you how fucked up you are. Surround yourself around people that you lift up and they lift you up. Surrounding yourself around people that will remind you of what you already know isn't going to help you. It doesn't help me. And, I have to learn that, because what I'll do is, one, I'll try to either be too helpful, or I'll be not helpful enough, and then I'll just be all up in my head. And so, that is part of that. I'm not responsible for my disease. I am responsible for my recovery. There's a thing called the Just for Today, and in that, and if you don't know, well, look it up. You can look it up, and that's the thing that they read at every meeting. If I follow those items, if I follow those items on a daily basis, then I'm working towards protecting my mental health, my recovery, all that stuff. And I didn't come into this to just get clean. I came into it to stay clean and learn how to unfold the layers like an onion of why I kept getting loaded. Like the getting clean part, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's just not picking up. But there's a reason I always picked up. There's a reason I would get some time and then eventually pick up again. And it's because it's here. It's what's in here and what's in here. And as I work my steps and as I go into these meetings and as I continue to have friends in recovery, people that aren't getting loaded, I'm learning. Even the people that, may not work the recovery the way I work my recovery. And here's the thing. Nobody works recovery the same. Well, they shouldn't. We have these things we're supposed to do, but nobody's recovery is the same. And so really just getting perspectives from everybody is important for me. We learn a little bit from each person. And as long as I'm not hanging out with people that are getting loaded, I'll learn from the right people. And, that's really also being responsible for my recovery, and recovery doesn't necessarily have to mean not getting loaded. It can mean recovery from the way I used to live, recovery from the way I used to think. And so, I'm in this personal development journey of my life that is about changing. And change takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes work, and it takes failure. I try this, I fail. I try this, I fail. And then I will, as I fail, get all fucked up in my head. And the goal here is, okay, so when you're fucked up in your head, where do you go? What do you do? And I think I'm doing a pretty good job about that. I still have my faults, but for the most part, I'm doing a pretty good job about that. So I'm happy with today. Today I get to be of service. Today I get to go to work. I got to take my kids to the bus. And I'll get to hopefully put a couple smiles on some kids that might be going through some shit, and it's not like I'm gonna sit there and talk with them and be a counselor for them, but I might be able to do something different and just be a beacon of light for maybe a kid who's not saying anything and they're struggling, and just that, you know, dragon on the cheek or butterfly around the eyes might just make their fucking day. And I'm cool with that, and I'm really happy that I get to do that today. And I'm gonna throw a plug out. My boss is an amazing boss, because I totally forgot I had this going on, and I was stressing over it, and I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, no problem. And it just goes to show how much of a place where I work is supportive of the things that I do that are good and healthy. You know, he could have easily said, hey man, you gave me way too short notice. There's no way you can leave that early. You're one of the closers. I'm gonna need you, buddy. But, and I would have accepted that, and it's my fault, you know, like I didn't, when I signed up for it, I didn't shoot the text out, and I didn't give him notice. I let my life get in the way of some of the things that I've been doing, and then I got all stressed out and forgot all about it. So the good news is that I'll be there, and if anybody's watching this and they're local, you know, in the Olympia, Lacey area, it's at True Grace Church between 6:30 and 8:30, which is in Lacey. I'll be there from 7 o'clock till 8:30, maybe help up with some of the cleaning, and I'll start face painting at 7 o'clock. And you guys are welcome, or whoever's watching this is welcome to come by and bring your kids if you have kids and join the festivities. There's no cover charge. There's no, you know, you just show up. And they're doing this for the community, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's all I really have to say, and I just wanted to share a little gratitude with where I'm at today. And I hope whoever's watching this has a great day today, and you're able to get through some of the tough times today, because we all, like I was, you know, like we all have tough times, but how we get through them sometimes is together. I'm getting through them alone really fucking sucks. So good luck today. I wish anybody goodwill and fortune, and have a blessed day.